V. Vasudevan is a professor of Sri Shankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Thiruvananthapuram. He had his MA, and double MA and PhD as qualification, and he is a Yajurveda scholar. He has published more than 40 books. More than 150 articles he published. He had presentations to the tune of 120, and he has guided more than 5 PhD students, and some are doing research under him, and has been awarded by the title of honors as Nyaya Kesari and Vedanta Sindhamani. He's a great scholar in Sanskrit. So we are so happy that he is today giving a paper, presenting a paper on Vedas and Nyaya and its mutual dependence. So I'm with all honor, I welcome Dr. V. Vasudevan to present his paper. Welcome, sir.
Namaste, sir. Now, my paper is on Vedas and Nyaya mutual dependence. First of all, I should thank our great Murali Madhavan sir for inviting me to present paper in this international conference. This is very useful, wonderful, a splendid conference. What else can we say about this conference? Great scholars from all over India and abroad are invited, and they are presenting some interesting and serious points. We are all enjoying that is the thing. Now my paper is on Vedas and Nyaya mutual dependence. How Nyaya is dependent on Vedas and how Vedas need Nyaya's support is to be presented. My presentation is in Indian philosophical system. Generally, the schools are classified into 2 groups, Astika and Nastika groups. Astika means one who accepts the authority of Vedas, and Nastikas are they deny the authority of Vedas. And that is well known. But here I want to present that 3 types of qualification would be comfortable. Vaidika and Vaidika Yoktika and Avaidika. Because Mimamsa and Vedanta systems, they totally depend on Vedas. They could not exist without the authority of Vedas. So they depend on Vedas to such extent. Unlike Nyaya, Sankhya, Yoga and the other school, Nyaya and Vaisheshika and Sankhya and Yoga, they are not opposing Vedas, they are supporting Vedas. So Mimamsa system and Vedanta system can be called as Vaidika Darsana, and Nyaya, Sankhya and Yoga system, they can be called as a Yauktika Vaidika. They are dependent on logic and supporting Vedas. They are not totally dependent on Vedas, they are dependent on logic, Yukti only, and they are supporting Vedas. The third type may be Avaidika Darsana. So totally neglect Vedas, they are opponent of Vedas. Charvaka, Bauddha and Jaina systems come under this group. Now, by Nyaya, the term Nyaya, I mean Gautama's Nyaya Sutra, the first systematic work. Gautama belonged to 1st century AD, and the main subjects dealt in Nyaya Sutra are 3. One is epistemology, the another one is argumentation, and the third one is metaphysics, that includes study of the soul, God, creation, liberation, etc. Epistemology is the most important subject or topic taken in Nyaya, and Nyaya Shastra developed through ages. Later on, it was mingled with Vaisheshika, and what we call a syncretic Nyaya Vaisheshika was formed. And later on, after 13th century, Navya Nyaya was framed by Tattva Chintamani Gangesa. These are all the. Now coming to my topic, study of Nyaya. Study of Nyaya is related to Vedas. For this, how it is related to Vedas? For this, we have to trace the oral tradition of Nyaya in earlier days. Study of Nyaya was in oral tradition even before Gautama, who is said to be the propounder of Nyaya Shastra. Actually, he is not the founder. Whatever Srinivasan sir says, Jaimini is not the creator of Mimamsa Shastra. He was not the founder of Mimamsa Shastra. Prior to him, there was Mimamsa Shastra. Just like that, prior to Gautama also Nyaya Shastra existed. That means study of Nyaya Shastra existed. So Gautama is not the founder. He may be the propounder. So Gautama's work is called the first systematized work on Nyaya Shastra. Okay. So study was previously there, and that study is mainly related with Vedas. That is what we can understand from several points given by Mahamukhopadhyaya Dr. S.C. Vidyabhushan in his wonderful book, History of Indian Logic. What he says is, in earlier days, there were 14 Vidyasthanas according to Yajnavalkya Smriti. There were 14 subjects of study, 4 Vedas, 6 Angas. Angani Vedas Chatvaraha, Mimamsa, Nyaya Vistaraha, Puranam, Dharma Shastram cha, Vidya Hyetaha, Chaturdasha. That they are mentioned in Yajnavalkya Smriti. And in many other texts, these 40 Vidyasthanas are calculated, they are numbered. 4 Vedas, 6 Angas, then Mimamsa, Nyaya Shastram, Puranam, Dharma Shastram. So what we see here is Nyaya Shastra is mentioned along with Vedas and Vedangas. These 14 Vidyasthanas are either Vedas or they are supporting Vedas study. There are 2 kinds there, 4 Vedas, and the rest are supporting the study of Vedas. So in that view, Nyaya, like Mimamsa, like Dharma Shastra, like Purana, Nyaya study was also supporting Vedas. So why? Because Nyaya comes in that list. And another one, Anvikshiki, Trayi, Varta, Dandanitishcha, Shaswati. These are some pages from, there are some pages from Kautilya Shastra and Nyaya Bhashya itself. So Anvikshiki was the name given to Nyaya Shastra in those days. Inquiry. That means, so prior to the formation of Gautama's Nyaya Sutra, this Nyaya study had been mingled with Vedic study without separate identity. So, especially in our country, in Bharat, logic and Vedanta were like 2 parallel rails in a railway track, supporting each other in carrying the ideas with one aim. Here are some observations made by Dr. S.C. Vidyabhushan. To quote him, Atma Vidya was at a later stage called Anvikshiki. He has clearly said Atma Vidya was at a later stage, that means after Gautama, that is named as Anvikshiki. Another sentence is, Nyaya Sutra contains in itself the principles of both logic and philosophy. And the third point is, the distinction between Atma Vidya and Nyaya Anvikshiki lay in this, that while the former embodied certain dogmatic assertions about the nature of the soul, the latter contained reasons supporting those assertions. So according to S.C. Vidyabhushan, previously Atma Vidya and Anvikshiki are the same. They are considered as a single Vidya, single study. And the later on, Gautama, what Gautama did is he separated Nyaya from that Atma Vidya. That was the work done by Gautama. So he has clearly stated that the bifurcation of Anvikshiki into philosophy and logic commenced with the very formation of the Nyaya Shastra, and Gautama expounded the logical side of it. That is not only his view, it is the view of Nyaya Vatsyayana in Nyaya Bhashya also. Nyaya Bhashya was the first commentary for Nyaya Sutra of Gautama. Vatsyayana in his commentary has stated that Anvikshiki without the theory of reasons would have been mere Atma Vidya, like the Upanishads. Adhyatma Vidya matram iyam syat samsayadinam prithagvachanam antarena Adhyatma Vidya matram iyam syat. That is his statement. Because Pramana, Prameya, everything is there. Pramana, Prameya are also dealt in Atma Vidya also. So, the main subject in Nyaya Shastra, that is argumentation. Samsayadinam prithagvachanam antarena adhyatma vidya matram iyam syat. He also states that the term Anvikshiki, what is the meaning of the term Anvikshiki? The term Anvikshiki means inquiring the facts viewed by perception and Vedas. I am presenting this because just to tell that, just to express that Nyaya was supporting Vedas in earlier days. The meaning of the real term Anvikshiki, Anu Iksha, Pratyaksha Agamabhyam Ikshitasya Punarikshanam Anviksha Taya Pravartate iti Anvikshiki. So, Anvikshiki is just inquiring the fact viewed by Pratyaksha and Vedas. And in Nyaya Kusumanjali, Udayanacharya says that Nyaya here is nothing but deep consideration of what is ascertained from Vedas. Nyaya Charcha iyam isasya manana vyapadesha bhak is the statement given by Udayanacharya. Here the Nyaya Charcha, Nyaya Kusumanjali is this text written by Udayanacharya. In Nyaya Kusumanjali, what are you doing by that name Nyaya? What do you mean by that name Nyaya? Udayanacharya says, Nyaya Charcha iyam isasya manana vyapadesha bhak. What I have understood from Vedas, I am going to inquire about it. That is the Nyaya here. So, this is the Nyaya's approach to Vedas. Here, I am to present few points. Number one, Nyaya is never opposing the authority of Vedas. In any text of Nyaya, there are hundreds and hundreds of texts. In Nyaya, in nowhere we can find that they are opposing the authority of Vedas. They were not denying the Vedic theories. They are not denying the Mimamsa theories. They are clearly supporting the Vedic principles or Vedic rituals and everything. In fact, Nayayikas are borrowing some ideas, especially in ontology. We can say I am going to mention them. And the Nayayikas are establishing the authority of Vedas. There is one chapter in Nyaya Sutra about Veda Pramanya. Mantra Ayurveda Pramanya Vache Tat Pramanyam Apta Pramanyat. There is Purvaksha and Siddhanta over it, and Gautama establishes the authority of Vedas there. So, not only accepting Vedas, they are taking some points from Vedas and they are never against Vedas. That is the point. And it is very clear in Vaisheshika Sutra. More clear in Vaisheshika Sutra. Vaisheshika is prior to Nyaya, and Nyaya and Vaisheshika, they come closer. And they come mingled. As Nyaya Vaisheshika, we all know that in Vaisheshika Sutras, in many places or in many sutras, Vedas are mentioned as an authority to prove that point. For example, while defining Vayu as a separate Dravya, Vaisheshika Sutra mentions Veda. While defining Atma, Vaisheshika Sutra mentions Veda. While establishing Ayonija Sarira, whether Ayonija Sarira, that means divine bodies are there. Vaisheshika Sutra, Vaidikancha, there is a sutra. Vaidikancha, it is mentioned in Vedas also. There is a chapter, a 6th chapter of Vaisheshika Sutra, 6th Adhyaya. There are 10 Adhyayas in Vaisheshika Sutra. The 6th Adhyaya is for karma, Dravya Guna karma. Karma means action. That karma is divided in 2 sections. One is Laukika karma and the other is Vaidika karma. So, in the second Anhika of 6th chapter, Vaisheshika totally depends on Vedas to prove Vaidika karmas. So, Vaisheshika has not only accepted Vedas, Vaisheshika has taken Vedic passages as an authority to prove the ideas they present. Okay. Now, coming to Nyaya, I am to give 2 examples how they depend on Vedas. Nayayikas, how they depend on Vedas. The first is Padashakti. Padashakti means word meaning relationship. Nayayikas say Padashakti is nothing but Ishwarecha. Word meaning relationship is God's will, according to God's will. The idea is that God is the creator. He created everything and named them. It is quite natural. The creator would name the substance he created, okay, or he founded. It is quite natural in our world also, because the parents name the child. Okay, that simply like that. God is the creator. He created everything, and he only named everything. So, the name for everything is according to God's will. Ishwarecha, Ishwara Sankalpaha, Ishwara Sanketaha. That is said in Vaisheshika also. Samayikaha Sabdat Artha Sampratyayaha. So the power of words in revealing the meaning is according to God's will. And that is according to Nyaya Siddhanta. This is taken from Chandogya Upanishad. In Chandogya Upanishad, Namarupe Vyakarot ityasti. Namarupa Vyakaranam is the term very famous in Vedanta circle. Nama Rupa Vyakaranam. Not only creating Rupa, shape, but also naming that. That was done by Brahma, Parabrahma. Anena Jivena Atmana Anupravisya Namarupe Vyakaravani. Namarupe Vyakarot. They are the passages in Chandogya Vyakarana. So, when Upanishad proclaims so, God is the creator and God only gave them the name. Nayayikas totally accept that idea, while others, by others I mean Mimamsakas and Vedantins, they are not believing it. But Nayayikas, without hesitation, took this idea from Chandogya Upanishad and present it as Asmat Padata Ayam Artho Bodhavyaha iti Ishwara Sanketaha Shaktihi. So Shakti, word meaning relationship, is nothing but God's will. The another thing is 4 pramanas. We all know Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Sabda, Pramanani is the Nyaya Sutra. The names of 4 pramanas are mentioned in Vedas also. Smriti Pratyaksha Maitihyam, Anumanaschatuštayam is the Vedic passage in Taittiriya Aranyaka. And these four pramanas or three pramanas are mentioned in Manusmriti. In many Puranas, they are mentioned. So, Nayayika, unlike others, they established that there are only four pramanas. Some say there is only one, according to Chavraka, only one pramana is there. According to Vaisheshika, two pramanas are there. According to Sankhya, three pramanas are there. So, we all know everything. So, some say 5, some say 6, and Pauranikas go up to 8. There are 8 pramanas. But Nayayikas stick to that Siddhanta. There are only 4 pramanas. Why? Why they are sticking? Or why they are establishing the same thing again and again? Because it is the idea presented in Vedas. There are 4 pramanas. There is some difference. Smriti is mentioned in Vedas, but Nayayikas take Upamana as the third pramana. That is different thing. But the number 4 are pramanas. That is given according to the Vedas. And the next point is that inquiry of Atma. Whether Atma is necessary is the point of debate everywhere. Atma is different from knowledge. How it is different from knowledge? We know knowledge is there. Everyone should accept knowledge. Everyone is accepting knowledge. Knowledge is there. But how Atma is different from knowledge is the basic question asked by everyone in philosophical circle. Does really Atma exist? Apart from knowledge, what is Atma? We cannot experience such a thing, Atma. So, Indian philosophy itself is in a great danger. If there is no Atma, then no necessity of moksha or samsara, everything would be taken away. Punarjanma, everything, karma theory, everything would be taken away. So, Indian philosophy clearly states Atma is there. Atma is different from knowledge. There are 2 different approaches in answering this question, in answering this problem. Does really Atma exist apart from knowledge? There are 2 approaches. One is philosophical approach and another one is logical approach. In philosophical approach, there is a simple answer. There is Atma. Atma is the knower. Atma is the pratyak. Atma is nitya. As Vedas say. This is the theory, or this is the approach of Vishishtadvaita Vedantins, Dvaita Vedantins. I am not mentioning Advaita here because their view is different. I am thinking in the way of supporting Nayayikas. Okay. So, in philosophical approach, the answer is very clear. Vedas say Atma is different from knowledge, so Atma is different. But Nayayika is not satisfied with this answer. He comes with a logical approach. Yes. Do you accept? He asked, do you accept this knowledge is there? Knowledge prevails. Do you accept that knowledge prevails? Yes, knowledge is there. If knowledge is there, then knower should be there. Because we say knows, then automatically the question arises, who knows? Who is the knower? If knowledge is there, there should be a knower. So, jnanam, sasrayam is the that is the anumana presented by Nayayikas. If there is knowledge, then there should be a knower. I know, he knows. Otherwise, the question arises. The question would be there. Knows. When one says knows, then automatically the question arises. Who knows? I know or you know or he knows or who knows? The question arises. So, if knowledge is there, then the knower should be there and the known object should be there. The another thing is, what is the meaning of I? This is presented in Vaisheshika Sutra. Aham iti atma sampratyaya. What is the meaning of I? I, me. What is the meaning of I? That is presented as pratyak in Vedas. I does not differ to body because we cannot mention everybody as I. Then what should we say? There are so many physical structures. My body is I. You take Chaitra and Maitra, there are two persons. Chaitra would mention his body as I. Maitra would mention his body as I. So my own body. Then what is the meaning of my? So there is something different from knowledge, different from body. There should be something that is called Atma, that is called Pratyak. So this type of logical approach is there. So Nyaya takes this logical approach only to establish Atma mentioned in Vedas. That is the point here. That is said in Nyaya Bhashya also. Kim Atma Veda Deva Avagamyate Netyuchyate Ichha Dvesha Pretna Sukadukha Jnanani Atmano Lingam is the sutra there. Veda Deva Avagamyate. Na. So we are having some reasons to establish the Atma, not merely we are depending on Vedas, is the idea presented in Nyaya. So we can see in Nyaya text that they take Vedic passages, they accept Vedas, not only they do accept Vedas, they are establishing the ideas or tenets presented in Vedas. In Nyaya Kusumanjali, Udayanacharya establishes Swarga. Udayanacharya establishes Punya Papa. Everything he is establishing. That is why he said, I am establishing by yukti or by the sense of reasoning the tenets presented in Vedas. Nyaya Charcha Iyam Isasya Manana Vyapadesavaka. I am simply creating, I am simply doing manana, not establishing. Manana. Manana is something which comes after Sravana. Sravana is hearing and understanding everything from Vedas. Then comes Manana. Manana means establishing those understood with the help of yukti or reasoning. Okay. And my paper is on mutual dependence of Nyaya and Vedas. So Vedas also, they depend on Nyaya. They need, Vedas need Nyaya. Vedas need the study of Nyaya. For which purpose? To be understood. So there is need of Tarka in understanding Vedas. That is how Srinivasan sir also presented. Because why? Because why there is need of Veda? Why there is need of Tarka for understanding Vedas? Because there may be three reasons. Some Vedic passages are unclear. They are not understandable. And the second reason is some Vedic passages, they seem contradictory. And third one is there are different interpretations for these Vedic passages, and for understanding the right or perfect meaning, we have to apply Tarka. So Vedas need Tarka. That is what Manusmriti says, meaning of Vedas should be ascertained by Tarka or reasoning. And that Tarka should be unopposed to the injection of Vedas. Arsham Dharmopadesancha Vedashastra Avirodhina Yaha Tarkena Anusandhatte Saha Dharmam Veda Netaraha. While Kautilya says Pradipa Sarva Vidyanam, Nyaya is Anvikshiki or logic is the lamp of all sciences. He also means Nyaya is the lamp for understanding Vedic Vedas also. Not only Nayayikas are claiming so, Not only Manusmriti mentions so, Vedas themselves say Tarka is necessary. You do apply Tarka here. Vedas themselves say. Brahmavadino vadanti. Srinivasan sir also mentioned. Brahmavadino vadanti. This passage often comes in Vedas, often occurs in Vedas. Brahmavadino vadanti. That means Vedas say that you need not accept this thing because it is said by Vedas, but Brahmavadino vadanti, scholars are discussing, and after discussion they have come to a conclusion, and I am just presenting that conclusion. That is what Vedas say. In many places we can see Brahmavadino vadanti, Brahmavadinaha vadanti, they vicharam kritva vadanti. And in another place Vedas says Manishino manasa pritchate dutat yadadhyatishtat bhuvanani dharayan. O scholars, you ask yourselves within your mind to find the answer of this question. Who is the creator? How he created all this? What is the raw material used by him? You may have so many questions. I am to answer these all questions. Vedas says, I am answering. But to scholars, you ask yourselves within your mind, Manishinaha manasa pritchata, and then find an answer. You need not totally depend on me. You need not accept by merely believing me. So Vedas also proclaim that logic is needed to understand Vedas. While logic is needed to understand Vedas, on the other side, the roots of Indian logic are in Vedas. So in that way, there is mutual dependence between Vedas and Nyaya. The main thing here I want to be clear is by Nyaya or by logic, here I mean Indian logic only. In logic in a vast sense, or world logic, there are logic. When we take the term logic, that is different. But when we take the term Nyaya, that means Indian logic, that is dependent on Vedas. So that is the idea here. So Srinivasan sir also mentioned Vedas need Mimamsa to be understood, and Mimamsa in earlier times is named as Nyaya, and later on when study of Nyaya is started, they took the term Nyaya for themselves. That is true. And here by Nyaya, here to understand Veda, Mimamsa is needed, and to understand Mimamsa, Nyaya is needed, because Nyaya is the study of knowledge. Nyaya is the study of Pramana, Prameya, Samsaya, Prayojana, Drishtanta, Siddhanta, and Avayava, Tarka, Nirnaya, Vada, everything is needed to understand the real nature of argumentation and the real nature of what we call Nyaya in both the sense in Mimamsa and Nyaya. And there are some other padarthas in Nyaya itself. They are Pratyabhava. Pratyabhava is rebirth. Nisreyasa or Apavarga, that is moksha, liberation. These padarthas, they are adopted from Vedas. They are taken from Vedas. Atma, Sharira, Indriya, Artha, Buddhi, Mana, Pravritti, Dosha, Pratyabhava, Phala, Dukkha, Apavargastu, Prameyam. The object of knowledge. Unlike Vaisheshikas, Nayayikas say the objects of knowledge are not Dravya, Guna, Karma, Samanya, Vishesha. They are not Laukika. But the objects of knowledge, Prameyas, in Nyaya are taken from Vedas only. Atma, Sharira, Indriya, Artha, Buddhi, Manas, Pravritti, Dosha, Pratyabhava, Phala, Dukkha, Apavarga. They are the objects of knowledge, Prameya. So, in Pramana section and Prameya section and in section of argumentation, we can see that Nyaya is dependent on Vedas, not totally dependent, but dependent to some. When it is totally dependent, unlike Mimamsa and Vedanta are totally dependent, but unlike Mimamsa and Vedanta, to some extent, they take some points from Vedas. That is my point here. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, coordinators.
Thank you so much.